Are you tired of the same old weekend routine, looking for something new and exciting?
Then get ready to rev your engines at Throttle and Swing, the ultimate entertainment destination at NOLA Motorsports Park.
That's right, we're talking an 80 configuration go-kart track that'll have you feeling like a pro racer.
But that's not all. We've also got a brand new 18-hole mini golf course and a state-of-the-art arcade.
Delicious craft pizza kitchen and a full bar. Think unique cocktails, gourmet coffee, and the perfect place to refuel after all the fun.
Plus, relax in our outdoor lawn area with the playground, live music stage, a huge television for watch parties, and free Wi-Fi too. It's perfect for work or play.
And if you're planning a party, Throttle and Swing can handle it. Any size gathering, we've got you covered.
So, what are you waiting for? Head over to NOLA Motorsports Park on the West Bank and experience the unparalleled excitement of Throttle and Swing.
Throttle and Swing at NOLA Motorsports Park. Get your adrenaline pumping. Chocolate lovers rejoice. Scandalous Chocolates has arrived in New York with 4 sensational new varieties.
That's right. They aren't just chocolates. They're an experience. Premium edibles crafted with the finest ingredients, blending sweet and savory sophistication.
We're talking 20 milligrams premium chocolate lips, sleekly packaged, perfect for on-the-go indulgence. Nuts, fruits, caramel, it's an affair you can take anywhere.
At just $10, it's an affordable luxury. Fair trade, single origin, gluten-free, and vegan. Find Scandalous Chocolates at quality dispensaries like Travel Agency in Gotham.
Scandalous Chocolates. When you're in New York, awaken your senses and delight your palate.
The affair you could take anywhere. Scandalous. Are you looking for a unique New Orleans experience?
Check out New Orleans artist Frenchie at FrenchieLive.com.
Featuring original artworks, prints, and more. See it all at www.frenchielive.com.
Live event bookings are available. The gallery is open by appointment only.
And for private showings or parties, email info@frenchielive.com.
Experience the art. Experience the artist. Frenchie Gallery. www.frenchielive.com.
Hey, Jay, you hungry? Like really hungry?
Yeah, I'm in the mood for oysters. Hey, let's check out Trenas.
Oysters? I love oysters.
Trenas features a wide variety of local oysters. Char, grilled, baked, and on the half shell, even the famous oyster log.
Oyster log? I heard about that. You get 6 each of their signature baked oysters, plus 6 fried, all on a cypress slab?
42 oysters. We are going to love it. Trenas is located in the Hotel Intercontinental, 444 St. Charles Avenue, right on the parade route.
Sweet. When can we go?
7 days a week for lunch and dinner, plus a mimosa brunch on weekends, and happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Happy hour? Nah, you're talking my language.
Great drinks, great wine list. An award-winning chef, Matthew Farmer, leads a team serving the best seafood in New Orleans. Trenas.
Trenas. Got it. Let's go.
So I pull these cards. I burn the Palo Santos. I already burned the Palo Santos. So and it's just random cards. What's going on?
Did we start the show yet? But we got a vibe, y'all. We got a vibe. I can tell by your smile that you're in my tribe. We got a vibe.
All right, we're back here with live at Only Good Vibes News Network.
That's right.
And we'll have Maeve and we have the doctor on, your mom and the daughter duo team of this really cool book that Maeve, I look at myself. I read it again before I came over and it calmed me down. It calmed me down because it came to some of the positive things that are just like a foundation to staying calm. Because normally we are going to always be like, a little up sometimes, and it really helps every person. I think you should change it from from kids to 8 to adults. You should add adults in. That's just my touch. That's just my touch.
There's no limit to the people who need to relax, right?
Exactly. So what we do over here is we burn some Palo Santos and sage. And speaking of that same energy, all it does is calm people down and get their energy in the right place and gets rid of negative energy, actually. And that sometimes negative energy it just creeps around. It doesn't have any. It's like air. It's invisible. All energy is like invisible, right? Mm-hmm. But I know if we talk to mom will start telling us about the hippocampus with the pineal gland on the top that has a crystal on the inside where all the energy comes from, right, Mom?
True.
See, that's where we live here. We live. I got chills again. I love it. But we pull these cards and we just let the Palo Santos burn as the energy goes, and I pull a card, but I already pulled the card. So the first card says, it just has a little insignia on the front, and then it has a little definition on the back. And I do this every day. It's something that just is like armor for our bodies before we go out today and start. So it says, right thought. You are what you think. Think it today, become it tomorrow. Nothing can help you or hurt you as much as your own thoughts you carry in your head. Wow. See, that's like your book. Mm-hmm. You know, like Kunall, when he keeps trying, he gets all frustrated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's the same thing. I really feel it today. The good doctors, and every time we have a doctor with dealing with neurologically and mentally thinking a certain way, it's really close to my heart. It really is. And I'm stoked to have you here. We are stoked to have you. Humility is the second card. And humility on the back, it says, the way of the earth is to empty which is full and fill which is empty. True humility brings great fortune. I mean, this book, you've helping people. You guys are full with the good energy. You write this book to help some people who are really struggling with some energy who may not be as full, and you're feeling it. I think that's great. And that's all it is. Really, it's like a philosophical thought process.
Holly, is this your first book?
It is.
It is. Very cool. Very cool. And you teamed up with Maeve here. Maeve, were you an inspiration for the book, or what do you think brought you into this project?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
You don't know?
Because my mom just wanted me to help with drawings and stuff.
Okay.
I think, and I think I ended up just writing a few words and stuff, and I think that really helped with the book a lot.
Super
but I don't
cool.
really know exactly what my role was.
I mean, I think your journey yourself, you've talked about that, Maeve has a history of having anxiety, when she was younger, and I have as well. I mean, I think most humans have that as an experience, but you have navigated that in a really inspirational way to me. You've shared this story that, when you were 8, we realized she had Hashimoto's, so underactive thyroid. And I remember her dad and I, it was just around the pandemic time. So everyone was kind of oh, everyone's stressed out and maybe that's all it is. But we really had to kind of fight and work to get our voices heard because she was falling asleep over her homework, and she was only 8 years old. And she wasn't doing anything really incredibly different. Yes, the pandemic was happening, but her school worked really hard to get back in the classroom. So she was able to kind of keep a lot of her schedule similar to how it had been. But she had classic brain fog and learning difficulties and energy difficulties. And when you're so young, and you don't really have an understanding of what's happening, and the adults in your life are kind of trying to figure it out, you're naturally going to have an experience that's different than the average kid.
Sure.
And so, yes, she did. She definitely inspired it. And her strength and tenacity has really inspired how the story progressed, in that, our main character, Kunall the Pelican, figured out a way to kind of move through his anxiety, which Maeve has done herself. And then she's an older sibling to her brother, Jack, who is now 9. But when we first started writing this was more like 6?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, and we witnessed him kind of dealing with his own issues with dealing with anxiety and not dealing with them maybe in the most eloquent way. I'm married to a Sicilian and I'm Irish, so our kids have some hot-blooded nature in them.
They're very blessed.
And so Jack is definitely a mini version of his dad. Yeah. So we kind of saw that happening, and I think as the women of the house kind of joined forces to try to create something that maybe would help boys like Jack and girls as well, kind of move through.
Well, I love that working within the confines of your own family, you've created this thing that can help so many people and go so many directions. Tell me a little bit about you're a doctor, of course. Tell me a little bit about your practice and how that relates maybe to your book.
Yeah. So I practiced psychiatry for about, I graduated in residency so about 25 years. And in the past decade or so, I've done more of an integrative medicine practice. So I did a 2-year fellowship with Andrew Weil and really kind of dove into looking at pulling from all sources of healing. So whether it be supplements, vitamins, Reiki, spirituality, all of things that could be in some way evidence-based or not causing harm, I bring into my practice. So, I call it like an integrative psychiatry practice. So a lot of people that will come seek me out want to decrease their reliance on traditional medications or avoid them, or somehow manage maybe severe mental illness with less medicine. And so we're able to do that because I look at lifestyle, diet, exercise, spirituality practice, and kind of bring elements from all those things to really address the full person.
And then, of course, your book here, Inhale, Exhale, Shoot, is all about breath work. And how that sort of affects the body. Could you maybe go into a breath work a little bit for people who aren't familiar with it?
I mean, a big reason for me this was important is because I do see a lot of anxious parents and, as we said, anxious grown-ups, and giving them a tool that they can use with their children. As grown-ups, we naturally can't help but then model it ourselves. So like an easy kind of belly breath. Like, Maeve, do you want to talk about it? Or you want me to do it?
You do it.
Maeve has done it before, but she's feeling a little shy today, I think. So if we just put our hand on our belly and kind of inhale through your nose and hold for a little bit and then exhale through your mouth. And just focus on softening your belly as you're inhaling and let it expand and exhale. Sometimes we'll even think like soften as you inhale and belly as you exhale. And just allowing that kind of softening is just one simple practice. There's so many different types of breaths that people can do with different type of counting styles and things like that. But really, it's just about triggering that relaxation response, which is the opposite of what happens when we're anxious.
I could really feel that when you walked us through the breathing exercise, and I hope the people listening or watching at home went through it with you. But could you tell us a little bit about what's actually happening inside our bodies that gives me that calm when I'm done with focusing on my breath like that?
So it really triggers the vagus nerve, which is it's a nerve that kind of intertwines from the brain down through vocal cords, even into your organs. It really helps steer us into what's known as the parasympathetic response. The rest and digest response is what people might hear or have heard of. And that's considered the opposite of the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, or, when you get, people associate it with a fear response, but it's really just your body getting ready for change, that stress response. So for Maeve and I coming into this new experience, that's going to trigger that sympathetic response because it's something new and different, and it's how your body prepares for change. So it's not necessarily something bad, but sometimes our brain will take over and notice, oh, my heart rate's going faster. I'm feeling like my breath is not as deep, it's more shallow. And these, again, are all things preparing for change. But when your brain sees that and sometimes interprets that, that can kind of flip the anxiety switch and think oh gosh, I'm having a panic attack. I'm getting really worked up. When really, again, it's normal. It's a normal response. It's what you want to have happen so you can do what you need to do. If you're an athlete or a dancer or an artist, these are things you do to kind of prepare for what you're doing, I mean, I'm seeing, we're here surrounded by Saints, paraphernalia, that's what all the players are doing is they're getting ready to go out of the tunnel. They're getting that sympathetic response going. But then the flip side is you do need the parasympathetic to allow for your brain to heal, allow for your body to heal, and for you to kind of internalize and digest everything that maybe happened like during that game or while you were doing that podcast or what have you, so you can, kind of move on and grow as a human.
It also probably turns it up a lot if a person isn't to the part of your limbic part of the brain that, like Maeve, don't know who Jamie and I are. I mean, she might have seen me with the books, but she don't know this environment.
Right.
So it could probably turn it up even more in those type of situations too, right, Doc?
Yeah. And so that's why it's helpful to have those breathing exercises, because it makes it easier for you to then move into more of a relaxed state and more of an absorbing state, so that, yes, you're still in that new situation and you're still going to have that kind of maybe turning up of the heart rate and things like that. But your brain can come back online quicker instead of being in this nervous space for so long. You can be like, okay, this is new. I'm going to kind of breathe through it and take it in, and like, it's actually not that bad. And these guys seem pretty rad, and kind of move through it,
One of the cards we get, it's called Zen Life. And Zen Life is one of my favorite cards to read. It talks about when you're going into like a new situation, it says, do everything with the enthusiasm of a child, of a beginner, of a child doing it for the very first time with enthusiasm. Now, it's very difficult to do that sometimes when you really, it's just like, or just what you have like locked into your thought process for so many years. And then when you have to change that. But it's a real helpful tool for me, because when I've done it almost every single time, it was not even close to like what I was feeling or what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. So, Doc, one of these things that we really are stumbling on is that we should have you here more often.
I mean,
I'm serious. Even if you got to call in. I mean, that's what we like. We already have a Dr. Bruce we have on. We have Elliot. We have different neurologists that come on. But I would love to have you maybe, once a month, or if not to come on, but call in, just so we can bounce a couple of things like Jamie and I. We already knew about box breathing, in traffic and things like that. But the belly breathing now is something new that we give to our audiences, because we want folks to understand we're focusing on positive things, but I really want them to get results from this show, so it can spur some motivation for them to come back and learn and see folks like you and the other doctors and kids like Maeve. And Maeve, this book for me has really it's taken off, because I gave almost all of them away. This is the last one that I got, so I'm gonna have to restock on some of the books, and I'm gonna do some feedback too. Because I just wanted, like I said, I thought it was for older adults, but I bought a bunch, and then I realized it was only for 8, so I gave them to some kids and some parents of kids, and now I have 2 other folks that want one, but I will get some more. And please, you think there'll be another book you guys may be doing? Because it's really helpful after coming here and understanding even deeper, because I've seen you on television, I've seen you at the studios or Pull Boy Fest. You guys were there. I was going to ask you about that, but it's really cool how you guys have taken an organic experience that's a natural thing in life, from anxieties in the family, and being one of the first things I thought, Maeve, is brave. Mm-hmm. Very brave to put yourself out there, and then to say, hey, now we're going to write a book about it, and then to go on television to do it. And like, this is extremely a brave thing. And a lot of folks that I think, not only can it help them, but it can help them to feel like they can help other folks by talking about some of the things that they may not feel that's so comfortable to talk about, and that's anxiety too, that they can get rid of by breathing and thinking of these things, and knowing that everybody's going through the same thing. But we commend you guys. It's really a nice situation to see a family come together and do something. I look at it like taking lemons, what can be perceived to be a bad thing, and turn it into making lemonade, making a stand, and then turning a profit. I mean, that's something that people can perceive as bad news, but you guys have taken it and put a whole new feel on it, which is really fantastic. Mm-hmm. Besides, I know your daddy's cool too. Yeah.
Maeve, do you use breathing techniques in your own life, like just day to day, or tell me a little bit about your relationship to the breath work?
Well, I don't use it like in my day-to-day life. Maybe like when I have a test or something, or like when I'm like really worked up about like math tests and stuff, because like math's pretty hard. And also like I know when I'll be able to use it, like during competition season, when like, because I do dance and like I'm on the competition team, so like when competitions start to like build up, that'll definitely be like a technique probably. And just like dance in general, because like I'm a dancer. I like to do dance. You know, I do it at like pretty much every day. So like it's just like, yeah.
That's awesome, because I think that could probably give you an advantage too. Because a lot of the kids who don't know the breathing exercises, they're gonna be kind of, you know, like. But if you can like calm yourself before it and get in there, that's a big advantage, I think. So we don't want everybody to learn about the breathing. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. Yeah.
Keep it like a secret. Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. But I really think this is a good thing that, and your mother, I mean, I could sit here and talk to her and ask her a million questions. I mean, I really can. One of the things I really wanted to focus on was, not focus, but talk about also, what was your experience like with the Po' Boy Festival over at the Kids Art Market and all, like the whole section for kids?
It was pretty fun. You know, there's a lot of things for kids to do and stuff. And I'm trying to like remember.
So I mean, like, did you guys sell books there too? And just,
Yeah.
So folks came in. It's a whole like a part of a festival. You're starting to get comfortable with like being in these places, like sitting here on a Saturday doing an interview. You know, because people are looking up, like really like impressed by your work with your mom and the book and holding you up and a lot of stuff. It almost feels like folks will have offered a lot, or have a lot, or a lot is expected, meaning like you got this book, you really are doing good. Now they want you to do the Po' Boy Festival. Now mom wants you to come into this show. And so who knows who's going to hear this and want you to come on and say, man, that really touched me. I was listening to this podcast, Only Good Vibes News Network. I heard about you guys. I think it's great. You know, so how's that feel? Just this newness. How long have you guys written a book? How long has the book been out?
Since like September.
Oh, wow. Super new. Yeah. So how many places you been? I saw you at Martin's. I know about the Po' Boy Fest. There was another one. Are those the ones that you've all hit, or we met?
We've been at Garden District Books.
Yeah, I don't know. She does like a lot of like looking around to like sell them. I don't really do that because like I have stuff I have to do.
Yep.
So like, mom, so like whenever I like have stuff, my mom just like looks around and like do you want to talk about that? Like going around and like finding places who are like able to like sell our book and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
So you're more like the creative mind, and your mom is more like the business kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see. Like Maeve's pretty shy about talking about this, but she actually did design a number of the pages. Because we started working on this book when she was 10. She's 13 now.
Wow.
And so she doesn't let me show them, but I have sketches of like we have a lanyard page in the book of showing how to do a belly breath, and there's actually an original sketch that Maeve did with a pelican, like with her wording of describing the belly breath. And we do use the same wording. And Aileen Bennett is our illustrator. She's amazing. Yeah. But watching her and Maeve kind of meet and have those creative brains connecting in a way that I just, you know, as a scientist, I mean, I like to think I'm somewhat of a creative, but like they're just on another level with their creativity.
What spurred the decision to use the pelican? One of my favorite birds.
Well, part of it is honestly, it first started kind of coming into the universe when my husband Todd is the play-by-play guy for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, okay. So that's the connection to our own basketball team. Yeah.
So it really kind of started. I was like, you know, there's not anything about like Pelicans and basketball, which is like really sad state of affairs.
It's just like, you know, it's like the state bird. It's like a really big part of New Orleans.
I was thinking that.
And like Louisiana and stuff.
Yep.
So it's just like a big part of like our culture and stuff.
Yeah. Maeve, boom. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the state bird.
Well, yeah. I mean, and they have their, you know, like they have their own, yeah, like the group of pelicans is a very community-oriented bird, right? And maybe do you want to tell them a little bit about Kunall, like the name Kunall?
Yeah, I was curious about that.
I didn't come up with the name. I don't really know. I kind of forgot what it means.
Remember,
it's like a flower.
Yeah, it's the lotus flower. So it's you know, the lotus symbolizes enlightenment and like bettering yourself and kind of. Yeah. And that's his personality, right? Like always trying to kind of get to that. He
wants to like try new things all the time, I would think.
Yeah.
Kunall, connected with the lotus flower.
Maeve, do you know what they call a group of pelicans all together?
Not a clue.
Well, for Morse Blues, it's called a flock, but for a group of pelicans, it's called a brief.
A brief?
Pelican brief.
The pelican. That's what the movie was.
That's where they got the name for the movie. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, they say the day you stop learning is the day that you stop living. So, dude, I think I touched on it a little bit, but do we see any more books coming in the future here?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think
You've had some ideas.
Yeah, we've had some ideas, but like we haven't really started anything yet. So
any place that you guys want to, you thinking about, you're going to be at next, or mom hadn't thought about that yet?
She knows all that stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I know that the Holly Jolly Market is going to...
What?
It's the Junior
the
League
Jolly
Market.
Market.
Yes.
It's not her, it's not Holly's personal
It's not
market.
named after me, though. It should have
I
been.
wasn't. Okay.
They're going to have our book there.
Okay.
And we're talking to a few other locations to kind of see about having maybe some holiday activities. So those are
is there
still
a
kind of
local
in the
bookstore
works.
where they might be able to get your book? Just
like
walk in and buy?
like we've been at Barnes and Noble, so they have our book. We've done signings there. Any local bookstore, will be featured. There's the national, or actually it's the International English Honor Society is having their conference here in March, and we're actually going to be featured there. So Octavia will be, handling those books. So at some point they'll have our book because they'll have to. Our book is, we're blessed that for those who know basketball, Coach K from Duke and the U.S. team.
Coach K?
Yeah, gave us an endorsement. So it is at the bookstore up in Duke
Book,
University
if you
for
wanna see
anyone in that
super
area.
Yeah.
And then Holly, I know Whistle's been inquiring about future books, but you as a psychiatrist, is there any particular subject that you think would make a good book going forward? That's something that you deal with people about every day, something that seems to be a real modern problem that your patients are experiencing all the time that a book might help with.
Yeah, I've always been inspired by trees. Like my practice is Dara Wellness, which is Irish for oak. And, in Ireland, the oak is really kind of the tree of life. And then, of course, here in New Orleans, we have that connection. So I have been playing around with the idea of like meditations based on like the growth of a tree.
Okay.
So that's kind of a grown-up book I've been working off and on with for years. I haven't actually had it come to birth yet, but maybe now I'm declaring it
Nice.
in this
Very
space.
Yeah, he's out in the universe now.
That's what Dara means?
Yeah,
Oh, I had no
it's
idea.
Irish
I was
for
always
oak.
wondering
That's
why it was a tree.
Yeah, my family, my father's family is from Kildare in Ireland. My mom's is from Tipperary Town, and Kildare in Irish is Kildara, which is, it's like church in the oak.
Whoa, that is some serious history right there. And I think that needs to be out. I really do that. All that connection is too good not to just spill all over.
Indeed. Yeah. So I've always had that connection with trees, and I think that's part of what kind of attached me to here.
Are the best two things with the negative ions that you can possibly get.
Right. I mean, there's nothing like hugging a tree to like get you grounded.
They were laughing at me at City Park last time. Not City. We were at this time. We were at Audubon. And I know there's a lot of people that may not be big fans of this, but if you play golf barefooted,
nice.
It's nice. It's a different feel. It's a whole nother thing. I know there's a lot of chemicals. I don't need the emails and
Just tell my dad to do that. My dad loves playing golf.
I'll play with your dad. We'll definitely, I'll probably slow your dad down. I'm not great. I'm not that great, but
he's great at hugging trees. I am. I was there.
Yeah.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, it is. I do love hugging trees because there's a lot of benefits to it. Like this book, there's a lot of benefits to coming here and talking. Like, I mean, Maeve, when you guys wrote this book or collaborated this book, did you think in September that it would be as big as it is now? And
No, if I'm being honest,
Yes.
definitely not.
no, that's good. That's a great thing. Like, and one of the guys I really love listening to is I have other two, but one of the big ones that kind of go into this is Rick Rubin. He talks about making art for yourself and doing it it doesn't do the audience any good if you trying to make it for them to like it because you don't really know what they like. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So in September, you and your mom were just putting this thing together, right? And saying, oh man, it could be great, it could be whatever, but here we are now. You guys have been all over for Pool Boy Fest. And I'm pretty sure in September you didn't think you'd be a Pool Boy Fest, maybe some new stuff, but it's really you're in the essence of that vibe of just creating something and people accepting it. So maybe in your next book, remember, just continue to do what you're doing now, and maybe we'll be having another show where we're talking about something that we're not even thinking about at the moment, but the creativity, because if you just felt it and wanted to come out with it, the world needed it. The world definitely needs this. I mean, you're already, the benefits for me from this book, just reading a second ago, I was thinking about getting frustrated because I didn't know that something was planned today that I had that I thought I was going to do. Then I also have some practice after this, and I was thinking everything is right where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And it's just other stuff, like there's funny things that I thought. But this is the most important thing that I cared about today, was having this show and with you guys, because I think it's so much of what we are on all kinds of levels. Not only just as a good story, you're doing a good thing, but there is something in it that people can get, take back, use it in sample form, get some results, and then they want to come back again. And hopefully we have more of Maeve's and more Dr. K. Dr. I always call Holly Dr. K because I always think when you say, I think of you as basketball. I want to think,
Nice.
I think about
I receive.
Yes, but she just had me read the back. I didn't know you had that big. That's a pretty big endorsement by Coach K.
Yeah, it's a blessing. He's kind enough to look at the book and then actually give us the
that's
feedback.
not just like some little response either. He's like pretty behind it. I mean, Duke University. I mean, that's some bright minds there. Coach is like Hall of Fame coach. I mean, on the back of the book, Maeve. I mean,
well, they say game knows game.
Boom.
This is the only book I've really seen for children about basketball. I haven't seen a lot of basketball books out there. So I commend you guys for not only bringing attention to the breathing and to the relaxation and to our state bird, but also to basketball, because it's very healthy. It's a lot less dangerous than football for people. There's not a lot of CTE, maybe a lot of sprained ankles, but not a lot of CTE in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what attracted us, is that team element. And that's, again, like back to the pelican, like they are such a community-oriented bird. And I mean, that's part of the story, right? Is like that the team surrounds them, as coach surrounds them. And it's good for both grown-ups and kids to remember they're not alone when they are feeling these anxious feelings and feeling this stressed out feeling, because it's a lonely feeling. And so that's when you need to lean into community, and that's often when we forget that our community is there behind us.
I love how that all flows together, and then it goes right back into breathing, because I always want to think about meditating and like just calming yourself, and breathing is the foundation of that.
Right. And you're not alone doing that either. Like, how many times are we like sitting in space doing a meditation or a prayer? And if you kind of take a step back, like how many thousands or millions of people are doing that at the same moment? Like, even then you're in a sense of in a community, even if you're alone in a room doing it, like there's someone next door probably doing it as well.
And we're all doing this in a closed system. In other words, the very air that we're breathing, the trees are breathing in the carbon dioxide and putting out the oxygen, but it's all the same molecules. It's like the same air that I'm breathing is the same air that people have been breathing since there were people.
I love that.
That's really cool. I mean, so guys, you got anything that you want to tell folks? How do we, besides going to the bookstores, do you have a website or something that folks can go to?
Yeah, so our publisher is Susan Schatt Press, and
I
so
knew that,
yeah, so they have our book on their site, or you can find it under my site, like hollymckennaMD.com.
How did you find Susan?
Honestly,
I don't know.
I love that it was like a woman-owned publisher, and it was very important to me because Maeve and I had been partnering with this from the beginning, that she be a part of it, and I didn't want her voice to be lost. I felt like, especially because it's a children's book, you have to center the voice of the person that it's meant to be for.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that would happen with some of the other possible places that we were looking at. So, and that was something they agreed with. That was part of why we chose the illustrator we did, because we knew that Aileen would also keep her center and her voice center. And Maeve had, I mean, like, I mentioned the Lanyap page, but also Kunall has a little sidekick there on his shoulder. We call him Buzz. He's
It's a mosquito.
Yep.
which is ironic because I hate mosquitoes.
But you found out that interesting fact in biology class, remember, about mosquitoes? Because he's a boy. Remember you told me?
No, it wasn't in bio. I just
it wasn't
Googled
in bio.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like female mosquitoes are the only mosquitoes that like take blood. So like boy mosquitoes. Wait,
AKA
I need to make
Buzz.
sure because
No, you're right.
No, you looked it up.
you're
You
right,
looked it up
yeah.
in the moment, so I know this is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
The boy mosquitoes don't bite you.
Yeah, so Buzz is not a killer.
Buzz is
He's a lover, not a fighter.
He has a sign that says, "Please do not slap."
so buzz is like a subconscious thought process in a sense. Sometimes or maybe like the little in what you like your
Little
intuition.
angel.
Sometimes?
Yeah, I think so because he seems to kind of be the wiser mind.
That's what I was thinking.
And Maeve's like wearing our shirt. Like Maeve designed a T-shirt for our book, and that's
Oh,
very
Buzz
nice.
there.
Cool.
And he seems to be kind of the more like centered divine soul. So I think in a lot of ways, Buzz may be an inspiration. Yep.
Yep,
They
that's what I
confirmed it
think.
again on Google that that he may be an inspiration for the next book, or he'll definitely be a big part of it. I know Maeve's talked because Maeve is the creative. She's also like a musical theater kid. She's talked about maybe moving more into that space with what Kunall ventures into next. So we'll see.
Oh wow, maybe like a play coming up or a musical.
Maybe, I don't know.
You guys will have to stay tuned to Only Good Vibes News Network.
Oh, gonna have to wait.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
What a great, you're made for this stuff, Maeve. You know, guys, this show would not be possible if it wasn't for our lovely sponsors, our major sponsors here. NOLA Motorsports Park. Maeve, have you ever been in NOLA Motorsports Park?
I've never heard of
It's
it.
so it's a race car spot I'm glad I'm bringing it up because they go pretty fast. I mean, I thought they didn't. They were like they go to 40 or 50 miles an hour. I was like, sure they do, but they really do go fast. These go-karts, there's these go-karts, and they also have putt-putt. But it's like a real golf course. It's not like the small. It's pretty hilly.
Yeah.
And then they just recently had this thing we went to. It's zombie apocalypse during Halloween.
Nice.
You got to wait till Halloween next year, but they load you in a school bus and you get to blow the zombies away with paintballs.
And one of them grabbed me. I was freaking out,
sure
man.
did.
I was like sitting there because they are like, first of all, who's going to go? They got these guys that's just walking around and all these people shooting them with paintball guns that they drive you around in this bus.
That's funny.
And the thing is, they got close and we were like tagging him. All of a sudden, he's like, I've never been so scared. I was scared. It was in a bus. It was very frightening in a sense, not scared. It was just, it shocked me. Maybe I need to practice on some breathing there. But we also have Scandalous Chocolates out of New York. We also have, thank you for them, and also Frenchie Live. You guys been to Frenchie's
we love.
before?
I mean,
Yeah.
Frenchie, hello.
Yeah.
This is where we first. Well, we
Yes.
didn't first meet there, but this is
It
where
was
we
a-
saw each other.
Yes.
So
Right.
Leroy was at our wedding because Frenchie painted our wedding.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
And he was
right?
there as
yeah,
the sidekick.
There's
yeah,
paintings in our house.
because
Yep.
it's literally in our living room.
That's yep.
Yeah, we have a print.
Frenchie's
Well, we
a-
have I think we have
There's-
two
it's
or
a-
three prints, and then we have the actual the actual painting that he
There's
painted live of
there's
our
like
wedding.
a kitchen thing.
The
I think.
Giacomo's.
Yeah, Giacomo's Kitchen,
exactly.
favorite of mine.
And then there's actually a wedding thing.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
us,
check
yes.
that out. Maybe
Yeah.
knows. Maybe you've seen that
Yeah,
for a very long time in your life, almost all the whole time, huh?
I mean, it's been in the house ever since I was like before I was born. So like obviously.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean one of
She
my
grew up the kid who grew
I
up
grew
with a
up-
Frenchie.
yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at that.
Frenchie's one of my first like New Orleans experiences. Like when I
Awesome.
moved here in 2000. Like I went
Well,
to Maple Leaf. He was
Thank
there with
you
the
so
light
much
on his
for moving
head.
here. Thank you so
And-
much.
And did
for
you
moving.
visit us down at the gallery when we had that open on Royal Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, it was always like part of like the makeup of
Yeah.
of my being here.
Frenchie is definitely something like when you go out to a live music show, you see him, like you don't forget it. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Right?
You don't really see
No,
him.
it's a core memory of mine
Yeah,
of
exactly.
like
You're
my
like,
early
"Wait a minute,
days here.
This guy is actually making a painting right now.
No,
You
like
know?
my two core memories are that and someone playing the trombone on Royal Street.
Boom.
And then I was
Wow.
like, I'm staying.
Pretty NOLA.
That's it. I'm staying. Like
We
that
can't
was
do
it.
we can't do
Y'all
a
weren't
talk
getting
up
rid of me
better than
then.
this forever for Frenchie, right?
I don't think I've
or
ever
for
seen
the
him.
tourism bureau.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, we'll have to seek him out for you to see him.
Yeah, I don't
'cause
think
it's
I've ever
definitely
seen him.
Oh,
Oh, you've never seen him paint live?
Probably because you're not 21. That's probably why.
Yeah, Yeah,
You're not
because
21
usually like at
already.
music
Okay.
venues and we'll have to
So
find
also
out.
we have Trenas. Trenas is a restaurant that's in the Intercontinental Hotel right across from One Shell Square. You know, Matt and Jim are Matt's the chef and Jim is one. They're owner partners, but we have super fans. Like the helmet that I wear, this guy when I dress up like this guy, maybe it's me and other people that go to the Saints games. So this week we're gonna have that Saint. Dart Saint. We're gonna have Mr. Everything. We're gonna have Sister Saint, Soul Saint, Whistle Monster. It's Larry the Sign Guy, and the Signature Saint. So we'll all be at this place for brunch from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock because there's a 3:25 game today. We played the Atlanta Falcons. # beat the Falcons. Really beat the Falcons. I'm looking at every single camera, hopefully. So we'll be there from 1 to 2. Super fans at Trenas. And Trenas is a proud sponsor of ours as well. So without those 4 guys, we would not be able to sit here and do this thing as calmly and happily. And we're always welcome for more folks who want to advertise and sponsor us, always.
Well, we're lucky to have you guys in today. We're of course
We
lucky
are
to have our advertisers.
Thank you.
You were about to head into the Christmas season with this book. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that you have a lot of great sales for Christmas. It seems like a really great gift.
We're actually going to do our own month of giving. I talked to Leroy about this before. So we're it's something that I've noticed is 2 things I've noticed. One is every time we go somewhere, usually a little girl comes up to Maeve and talks to her about how she wants to be a writer and how Maeve's really
it's
inspired
always like
that.
a girl like similar to my age, like a little bit younger.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
You're inspiring a generation of authors. I think that's super cool, especially
So
in
cool.
a world where this very thing right here is going away quick, where
Yeah.
lots of things, so many things are digital,
Right.
and we have an actual book here. And I love, Maeve, that you're inspiring other young people to make books and to be into books. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's
And
amazing.
Not only that, the whole anxiety and stress is a thing that is really out in front that we need to wrap our arms around like a child and hold, because it's so many people are just not getting the help that they need. And this here is helping a lot of kids at the earliest age and the most impressionable ages, argumentatively, to get a grip on putting their minds and thought process, again, that's like just everything that this show is about, on positive things and good things, like in healing and getting better and understanding that things are going to be difficult, but it's how we handle them, which is the greatest part about this book. Because Kunall's always, he's like missing shots, getting
He's gonna
frustrated.
get in trouble.
Right. But he talks about that working through, which is really important.
Yeah, it's that process. And that's the other thing I notice is little boys come up to us. We have these stress balls that are basketballs.
Yeah.
And so that usually brings them
They're-
over.
All the time.
Yeah, they're very popular. And there's always a little boy in the corner with our book that as soon as he gets it, as soon as he can convince one of his grown-ups to get it for him, or sometimes they'll walk away with it and just read with it in the corner, which I'm okay with. And I'll get to in a minute. I'm very okay with that. And it's so fun to kind of watch that happen in real time and watch, especially as the mom of a boy. And as we kind of touched on the mom of a boy who didn't always know how to kind of get through those feelings without kind of going to more of an anger and an explosive space. And then Maeve and I both witnessed Jack through time go to a space where there's just another memory for me as a mom when he was getting his flu shot and he was very anxious about it. And he said, I need a minute. And he literally took a belly breath.
Boom.
And then said, okay, I'm ready now.
How old
and
was he at that
watching
time?
that happen, he was what, like maybe 7, 8.
Wow.
And it was after we kind of worked through this with him with help. And so watching that happen. So for December, and actually starting about nowish, because we already set it up with our website, with our publisher, we're doing a month of giving. We are asking people, if you feel inspired and want to help kids in New Orleans and the surrounding areas get this book, because not every kid has the means, especially right now. Well, for $15, you can basically buy the donation of a book. And we're trying to get as many books as we can to kids' hands. And the $15 basically just covers the publishing and the shipping cost. It's like, we get nothing. Basically, it's just basically, paying, like keeping the lights on, basically, as far as like in bookmaking world. And the more we can get out to people, the better, because I don't want them sitting in a warehouse. I want them in kids' hands. I want them where, kids and grownups, where they can use them and move through those feelings and realize there's some light on the other side and that they have community to lean into. And I'd love to be part of the community that helps them. So that's another
where can
thing
they
you can
go
kind of
to? Like, where can you go to? Like, say if somebody wants to get a couple of books and sponsor a couple of them. What do they do?
I mean, they can
Is
go.
it coming up soon? Or?
Yeah, it's already active on our website. So the Susan Schatt Press, under buy, you can find the Inhale, Exhale, Shoot, and they have a donation link. Again, you can go to my hollymckennaMD.com,
So
and
both
that'll
of those
take you
two.
there. Or honestly, worst case scenario, reach out. Maybe we can put a QR code with y'all,
Yes,
or
absolutely,
wherever. Reach out
definitely.
to someone here in this room, and we will find a way to get it to you.
Yes.
And that website is www.susanschattpress.com. That's SUSANSCHADTPRESS.com.
Thank
Yes.
you. Appreciate that.
Awesome. So, anything you guys want to say to the folks out there? Anything you that we left out that you guys might want to talk about, or anything before we say goodbye to all the lovely people who are listening and inspired by you guys?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Just
wait.
breathe. Just breathe.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's it.
Just take a minute if you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, think about Jack, because that's gonna like really make me think about it, because these little kids, like even before Jack, you remember this, but there's these little kids that seem like they're such adults, and those little like little bitty guys. They're like, I could just see a little kid going, I'm gonna need a minute, like an adult. But I think that the serotonin and dopamine that I get from laughing at that really makes me think about calming down. Again, I'm a big person that thinks about how a person can get a small little bit of results and how much it spurs their motivation. You know what I mean? Because if you get a little results from going, Jack has obviously got some results, like you guys have to give me a minute. And then, okay, boom, into it. So the next time if something happens, whether it's not a flu shot or whatever it is, he'll know I'm going to need a minute.
Right.
Because he got some results from that, and it spurred his motivation to do it again. And that's what we hope here, guys. Jamie and I have these two things that we always say. The first thing I'm going to say is about the fit. I'm going to go through these big 6 things that we can do that's okay, that we tell people all the time that they can do. The first 3 is always have humility, empathy, and compassion for yourself first. Because if you have humility, empathy, and compassion for yourself first, then you can give it to others, right? And all that's really doing is putting yourself in other people's spot and making and understanding how they feel. That's the first 3. The last 3 is always help people, because helping people is an inside thing. You're helping people with this book. You feel great when people go like, wow, how did you really help me with that? Giving and helping is a really good inside job. And then trying to be better than you were the day before, because nobody's perfect. Even Kunall knew, who's like, you're going to mess up. We're going to maybe miss an email. We're going to be late. We're going to be nervous. Maybe we'll stumble on something. But you can always turn the page and start the next day. And the last one, the 6th one, is one that we really focus on a lot, is leaving the world better than you found it. Now, how can you do that? You can do it a lot of different ways. You can do it through food, through air, through water. But one of the ways we like to focus on is meeting a new person for the first time and having a good encounter with them, like waking up this morning, you didn't know Jamie, and you didn't know me as well. But after this, hopefully we have had such a good conversation and a good experience that you can go out and you can tell someone, wow, I was on the show with these guys. It was really cool, really easy. And we can go like, you know what? We had Maeve and her mom on. It was awesome. If we go and do that 3 or 4-fold, isn't that really leaving the world better than you found it? And it doesn't cost anything, because most people are like, oh, I can't do that. It costs too much. But those are the big 6 things, and we also have one thing.
Maeve, I just want to thank you and Holly for being on the show, and thank you for giving the world this book, Inhale, Exhale, and Shoot. It's
Boom.
Swish. Shoots, he scores. But I just want to say that you're helping us, because this is putting a very good vibe. It accomplishes all 6 of the goals that Whistle just put out there, and it's just a wonderful project. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
we
you
were
for
seeing
having
you.
And
us.
remember, the world is full of good people.
If you don't see one,
Be one.
who dat? Thanks for joining, guys. Who dat?
Who dat?
But we got a vibe, y'all. We got a vibe. I can tell by your smile that you're in my tribe. We got a vibe.